Even the Messiah, when we're talking about deals, that's one deal with Judas, who sold over his soul. What does it profit a man to gain? He gained 30 pieces of silver. Let's go for it. Even the Messiah was offered the deal. I'm going to go to Matthew 4 and in verse 8. But before I do, let me give you a little bit of background. And the Christ was led by the Holy Spirit into the wilderness for the purposes of being tempted by the devil. And what we know is that the Christ fasted 40 days and 40 nights, and he happened to be hungry. I'm sure he would be, right? So 40 days, 40 nights, he's hungry, and I assume he was just drinking water. I would imagine 40 days and 40 nights, your stomach would just shut down. And then Satan came and did what Satan does the best, and he came to tempt him. And I won't go over, he does several attempts, but I won't go over all the attempts. But let's review what happened in the very last attempt, and that's what we're going to be reading in verse 8. In verse 8, I have it keyed up here. It's actually highlighted. Again, the devil takes him, talking about the Christ, up into an exceedingly high mountain, and shows him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. You know, what 8 says is definitely true. But I don't think there's a mountain high enough to show the Messiah all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. I think there was some type of supernatural, spiritual event that was at play here that only someone like Satan could do. And of course, the Messiah knows this. He's not giving the Messiah any new information. It just so happens that the Messiah is very hungry and he's very tempted. And who knows what's going on in his body, because he is actually in a human body. And verse 9 says, and says unto him, all these things, this is what Satan is saying to the Messiah, all these things I will give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then says Jesus in verse 10 to him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Then the devil left him, or the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered to him. So what we see here, the deal that was offered by Satan to many, many, many people throughout the world and through many time periods, was offered to the Messiah, and he quickly, expeditiously turned it down.